All right, so this is something I've wanted to do for a couple months now. I guess at this point, it's more a rant than a real video. Um, and it certainly wouldn't be edited, but I've been thinking about what I grew up with. What did I watch on the internet? I know what I watch on the internet now. I can think about that. But what did I watch on the internet as a kid? And the internet thing is important because I didn't watch a whole ton of like TV or cartoons growing up. It was a lot of YouTube specifically too, not even generic social media, like flash game websites, I guess, like browser, like the crappy ones. I wasn't on Newgrounds, like the like ad ridden, just a bunch of like flash bullshit type games. I was on there, and then YouTube, which I think only really allowed to start using since I was like 10. But yeah, even before that, oh, and video games, obviously. So I played a lot of video games and watched a lot of YouTube. So so how was I spending that time as a kid? Well, like any child, there's a lot of Minecraft, right? You had the classics. You had Stampy Longnose, the goat. Um, Very happy that I spent a good portion of my childhood watching him. I think he's a good influence and a great guy. Um, let's see here. Then it was like that. It was like popular MMOs who who I had to be careful around him because he swore. I always had to pause it when mom came in. I always had to turn it down. Um, I don't know if he swore much, but I know he did. All right, I couldn't. He was no Stampy. All right, you had to monitor that. So I was watched him. He was fun. Him and Jen were fun. They were fun together. Dan TDM, straight classic. Um, Actually, I don't know. I don't know if I watched a ton of him. It was mostly Stampy and then I think popular MMOs. But then we have our first point of contention in terms of like spending my time well. You had exploding TNT. I have no nostalgia towards him. I have plenty of nostalgia. Well, no, I guess I do. Because the other night I was checking out like an old exploding TNT video to see like what it was like. Like what was I doing? What was I up to? And I guess I did feel a sort of nostalgia to it, but it is also kind of garbage. Very like clickbaity nonsense. But even then, I guess I don't know if it was like that bad. It was usually very stupid concepts. Like it was usually like kind of trend chasing nonsense. Even popular MMOs, I guess, did that too. But I don't know. I just feel like it didn't have the same sense of quality. I don't know. As I say it out loud, I guess it's something only a kid can enjoy. But you can say that about like any Minecraft video that you probably watched as a kid. Like if you didn't watch, like think of all the Minecraft YouTubers you watched as a kid. If you thought about them, like if you watched them without having watched them as a kid, you wouldn't like them because you're an adult and they were videos for kids. But obviously you like them because you did watch them as a kid. You have that connection. It sort of connects you through time to, simpler times. What people usually say about like things you enjoy as a kid and nostalgia. It brings you back to happier, simpler times, whatever. So that's all the Minecraft content I watched. Oh, actually, before that, there was Lego stop motion animations. That's peak. That was fine. Although there was one of them I think I watched. It wasn't Raise Fire. Let me find it. It'll only take a second. Hold on, let me find this. Because this was like the one Lego animator guy I probably shouldn't have been watching as a kid. If I just look up like Lego Batman stop motion, it'll probably be like the first result. No, it was Forest Fire. Okay, he put like blood and stuff on the minifigures, and he made them say very naughty things. So I shouldn't have watched him. Hold on. Lego Pizza Delivery stop motion. The one I did watch, who I loved, was like I can pronounce this, Michael Hitchcock's films. Hitchcock's, I guess. Yeah, Michael Hitchcock's films. Those I watched. Only 14 million views. I thought it would have been more. I thought everyone watched this guy. That's still a lot. But yeah, Michael Hitchcock films. His stuff was good, so I'm glad I spent time on that. So there you go. There's child. Like I was like an actual kid. I guess 10 roughly. That's what I was watching. Mostly Stampy is the big one. It's mostly him. And then I guess everything else was more a passing interest. See at him. So that's a pretty good overall. I'd say, like there's a lot of battle for like kids' attention because I guess that's all they can really give anything as a kid. Like there's no child labor, not where I'm from. Like I can't be working a job. So it's like go to school, but even then, what's the only thing a kid can give at school? It's their attention. I guess kids are like a lot. They all have a lot of time to give up, a lot of attention to give to stuff, and it plants things in their head. So you got to have them spend a lot of time. I should have done this at the start of the video. You got to have them do a lot of time at school, right? So that their attention is spent on putting things in their head that are like education, like how to live life, how to do things, the basic concepts you need for further education. How to do math, how to spell things, how to speak the language that everyone around you is speaking, how to speak it properly, But then when they're out of school, I see they sleep, they spend time with family. That's the battle for their attention. Then they spend time on the internet. Would be the modern slash TV. I honestly don't know what kids do now because I'm not around any. So yeah, you got this battle for their attention. So what was the result of that battle for me, right? I went to school, I stayed in school, I guess. So then I spent time online, and I think my time or attention was spent well. I think it was spent good. I was watching things that weren't putting bad things in my head. I guess that's a big one. That's the big moral panic around what kids are watching. It didn't put bad things in my head. And it put things, it was just things I was interested in. I love Minecraft because I was a kid. It's in their blood. I guess they love Minecraft, and I love Lego, so I watch Lego animations. And that was mostly it. Let's see here. So by the time I was 10, even a little bit before that, just browsing YouTube, I had to have been, I have to remember what my specific household rules around YouTube was. I could have sworn it was I wasn't allowed to watch YouTube till I was 10, but I had to have been using it even before that, I feel like. Maybe in secret. Maybe I've completely blocked the memory of me disobeying my parents like that. I don't know. I had to have been using it before that, though. Or maybe not. 10 is still Minecraft, Lego animations range. I don't know. Gosh, you lose a lot of the details, I guess. You never think about that sort of thing. I do know it was only YouTube. That I'm for certain on. I wasn't browsing, Twitter as a kid. I guess no kid really would be. And Vine. I missed out on Vine. Because of our house's personal, no other social media rules that we had. I missed out on Vine. Kind of wish I didn't, because it's that's a time capsule, I guess. If you say road work ahead, most people my age will know how to finish that sentence. But I missed out on all the classics. So I guess I had to have been watching some Vine compilations maybe, but I didn't. The endless scrolling thing that started with Vine, sort of the short form content thing, I didn't get on that. Maybe that was for the best, because I don't know. YouTube Shorts eat me up pretty bad. I have them disabled on everything I can do it on, which is everything. So that was how my time was. Yeah, so missed out on Vine. But then middle school roughly came around, and there was a big shift in the kind of stuff I was watching on YouTube, unfortunately. Although, I think what I'm about to talk about kind of coincided with, the like stuff I was watching as a kid. Like I think I was still probably watching some Minecraft stuff maybe during this period, but it's a big shift in the kind of stuff I was watching. I started watching commentary channels, gaming commentary channel, because this was like when I was in middle school roughly was the exact moment of the big boom in this idea that like you can make gaming content, but like it's just you talking over it about other stuff, and it got like super popular, right? The one most people can name is Leafy is here, obviously. I didn't watch him. I don't think I did. I know I didn't. But he was known for that, right? You had the Counter-Strike surf in the background, and then you had him talking, like hating on something. That's the trademark in most of those commentary videos, is they're hating on something, obviously, because hate is the most effective emotion for making you like share something or feel or whatever that old thing. Hating feels good, right? People love sitting back. For me, I think I was like lying on my bedroom floor just watching. Well, okay, so for me it wasn't Leafy. I was watching. The ones I know for certain was Memulous. That was a big one. That was probably the biggest for me. I watched a lot of him, and then Pyrocynical. And I don't watch either of those people anymore. I think they're still going, but well, I know Pyro is. I know both of them are. But no, I watched a ton of them, and I had to have been watching a lot of stuff adjacent to that. I don't think I really paid much attention to the names attached. If they were talking about something cringy, and they had like satisfying gameplay over it. I know Memulous had like some first-person parkour game with these portals where you moved really fast, and then Truckload, no, Cluster Truck. That's the other big one. So yeah, you had someone hating on something cringy. You had fast-going gameplay in the background. Oh man, I watched a lot of time, and that's where I start taking issue. Right, was that simply wasn't a good way to spend my time, or like that wasn't a good community to interact with, right? Like I could have been doing much more. I want to use the word productive, but it's not even about production, right? It's not like well, I could have been learning a new language or a musical instrument. I didn't have much drive to do anything like that in middle school, unfortunately. It probably wouldn't matter if I did. But I didn't have much drive for anything like that, and I'm not even like upset that I wasn't using my time in that way. It's more like I could have been consuming stuff that was like better for me or like more enriching, which I know sounds like a bit of a non-problem. Like, well, couldn't have been that bad. If I'm able to identify that that was a problem, oh, it couldn't have been that bad. But no, I feel like I missed out on stuff. You know, I just feel like I could have been watching something better. But what would be an example of that, right? That I don't know. What would I have been interested in that was my Discord, not yours? Oh no, I have my desktop muted. Nice. Um, what would I have been interested? Like, what else could I watch? It'd probably just be more gaming videos, which are by no means good for you. Watching a Let's Play wouldn't be like enriching, but it certainly would be a lot better for the mind than watching like someone talk about something that would only be relevant for that week. You know, a Let's Play probably has someone with a much more positive personality attached, right? So that's yeah, I could have been spending my time better. Okay. Well, so okay, I'm upset. You know, I was watching gameplay commentary. Jake Paul is released a bad song, whatever the fuck. Why did that happen? Who is to blame, so to say? The obvious answer for me was YouTube's algorithms, because as a kid, I surely was not at all critical of what I was watching. I probably tried to avoid that because that's unfun to think about. Even now, I'm probably not terribly well. Now I'm probably a lot better about like consuming stuff that's at least worth my time. So so YouTube's algorithms would have been recommending me stuff, and I would have just like clicked on whatever attracted to me. I would have kept clicking on what I did like and stopped clicking on what I didn't like, and so YouTube would naturally correspond and feed me more of that stuff. Which I'm not even gonna say that that's how the algorithm works is like a problem. That's a good way, like I'm sure there's more to it than what I just explained, but that's a good way of like making it so that YouTube is generally filled with things you want to watch. But it's not very good for exploration, for finding new things. Right now, I mean, my YouTube homepage is only filled with things that I have already watched before at this point, pretty much. Sometimes I get lucky. Sometimes you find something new, but that's pretty much what it is for me at this stage. Okay, so yeah, so YouTube's algorithms were like recommending me things that I only now deem I didn't want to watch. I don't know, should that be how it works? I mean, that's like far from the biggest issue of a kid being on YouTube is like, oh, they might watch something that's, not maybe bad for them, but, not harmful, but like is just not a good way for a kid to spend their time. Their attention should be, invested elsewhere. That's far from the biggest issue. ElsaGate was big at the time too. I actually had to have been watching videos about ElsaGate at that time. I know for a fact I had to have been watching Memulus rant about, like play a funny ElsaGate video in the background. He doesn't say any. Had to have not been saying anything of real meaning of what it's about. He probably would have been going, "It's pretty weird, isn't it?" I have no doubt he was making funny jokes. I had to have been finding him funny, like for me to have been watching him. There's no way I know I wasn't only into it because of like the hating aspect. So that's something to consider. Yeah, so I'm getting a little sidetracked. But what do you do about that? The obvious answer is like some sort of older influence, but my parents, I mean, I didn't want to see what my parents were watching on YouTube. I probably thought it was weird. I knew they would have, they had to have been finding it weird. Like, I just wanted, like, it wasn't something I wanted to share. It was something I wanted to keep private. I don't know why. Probably, maybe they think it was bad and they tell me I'm not allowed to anymore, but I think it was more than that. I think it's more just like you feel, I guess I was self-conscious about my own taste. Or like, when alone, I was fine with it, but the concept that someone else could be seeing what I was seeing made me self-conscious about it, which was interesting. I clearly didn't investigate that any further because I kept watching it. So anyway, time progresses. I'm probably still watching more whatever slop. The YouTube landscape shifts. What's popular? Like people, I don't think you'll really be able to find gameplay commentary nowadays. I mean, if you do, that would be part of the appeal, is that it's similar to an older style that's not really around. So, I don't know. I've been ranting for 18 minutes almost, and I feel like I didn't really say anything, but it was nice to get it. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time, so it's nice to just have it done. I'd love to hear, if you come across this, what were you watching as a youngin'? On the internet, and do you feel like it was a good time? I guess that's what I'd want to leave anyone with this video with, is investigate what you were like. I'm using the internet, that's what I'd keep it to, but like, what were you doing with your time as a kid, and was it like good? Doesn't even need to be if it was like, oh, it was educational or it had raunchy language I shouldn't have been hearing. Was it just like something that enriched you in some way, or like just wasn't just nothing like those older commentary videos I feel like were now? So yeah, that's about it. If you have anything interesting, tell me about it. Man, this was fun. Maybe I'll do this more in the future. I'll try to find something I have more to say about. But for now, goodbye.